Happening now, what outgoing New York Governor Andrew Cuomo's accuser has to say about the decision to stop impeachment. Plus, the local teacher walking around Chautauqua Lake this week to raise money to send kids to camp.
Well, the forecast for this week is rain, and more humidity. We'll talk about it in detail next as the News at Noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now. This is WNY News Now with live breaking news.
New York will soon require all healthcare workers to be vaccinated against COVID-19. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo first hinted at this requirement earlier this month as Delta variant concerns began to rise statewide. Well, now this morning, the state announced that all healthcare workers in the state, including staff at hospitals and long-term care facilities and those in nursing homes, adult care, and other congregate care settings, will be required to be vaccinated by September 27th. The State Department of Health is issuing a Section 16 order, which provides limited exceptions to those with religious or medical reasonings. These steps follow Governor Cuomo's August 2nd announcement that MTA and Port Authority employees working in state facilities will need to be vaccinated by Labor Day, and his July 28th announcement that state and facing employees in state-run hospitals will be required to get vaccinated by Labor Day. Now, state employees who choose to remain unvaccinated will be required to undergo weekly COVID-19 testing. A woman who accused New York Governor Andrew Cuomo of inappropriate behavior added her voice to those criticizing state lawmakers for not pushing forward with impeachment proceedings. In a tweet yesterday, Charlotte Bennett wrote that Assembly Speaker Carl Heastie's decision to end the probe sends a message that corruption, sexual harassment, assault, and retaliation is acceptable. Cuomo had never said he said he never made advances towards her and never intended to be inappropriate. The governor, however, announced he would resign earlier this week as calls for impeachment by the state legislature grew over numerous sexual harassment allegations. Now, on Friday, Heastie's announced that the Assembly would suspend its investigation of Cuomo once he steps down. He says lawyers had advised the body's Judiciary Committee that the state's constitution doesn't authorize them to impeach an elected official that's no longer in office. Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul will take over as governor once Cuomo steps down. When asked yesterday on CBS's Face the Nation about a suggestion from Democratic Assemblyman Ron Kim that she turn over emails to prove she wasn't aware of the alleged misconduct, Hochul said,
"It's hard to prove a negative because I've had no communication along those lines, but I believe in transparency and we'll evaluate all requests. But it is no secret that the governor and I were not close, but I did support the legacy of progressive accomplishments, which are outstanding. And my role as lieutenant governor was not to be in those rooms or spend much time in the Capitol, but to really be out speaking to New Yorkers and championing issues like child care and paid family leave and higher wages. And I'm going to continue doing that."
The decision to not impeach Cuomo has also been met with criticism from Republican members of the legislature and some Democrats as well. Well, here we're hearing more from Jamestown Public Schools Superintendent about the district's plan to reopen school this fall. Superintendent Dr. Kevin Whitaker first outlined the reopening strategy last week, preparing for all students to return to full-day in-person instruction starting on Wednesday, September 1st.
In looking at the guidance that we do have from the Centers for Disease Control, from the American Academy of Pediatrics, from our own district physician, I have good news. We're going to be bringing back all of our students 5 days a week, full days.
However, he says the reopening comes with some caveats in order to maintain a minimum of 3 feet social distancing.
In order to get to that 3 feet, which is less than 6, remember we were at 6, we had to go hybrid. Well, in order to get less than 6, we need to make sure that all people indoors are wearing masks.
Whitaker says all must wear masks while inside the school buildings and on school buses for the safety of students who cannot yet be vaccinated. There will be built-in mask breaks included in daily instruction and while students and staff eat meals. As for remote learning, the superintendent goes on to say there will be options for those who are immunocompromised.
With everyone coming back, all of our staff will be accounted for, essentially. They will be teaching students. So we do not have the extra staff that would be required to provide a remote learning option. What we will be doing, however, is if you have a child who is immunocompromised, we ask that you meet with your physician, and as a physician, that person sends proof that that person is immunocompromised, and we will work on getting you home instruction per our standard policy.
Those with medical conditions are asked to contact the district's Student Support Services for a home instruction form. For more on that, visit the school's website at jpsny.org. Well, this year, like last year, will look different than normal for kids who are heading back to school. So families might be asking, how do they prepare for it? Molly Samora with our news partner WNY News Now brings us those answers.
People know that we do have disease spreading and that there may be requirements, whether it's the family saying to the child, we are going to ask that you wear a mask all day in school, or at some point the school saying we are requiring you to wear a mask.
As we head into the school year, epidemiologist Dr. Becky Dawson informs me it's important to talk with your students about what changes will be happening at school.
It really is our responsibility not to share our beliefs or our frustrations with masks with our kids, but really encourage them to follow the rules and understand why, even if you disagree with it, why masks are being required in schools, are being suggested in schools.
Counting down the days to the school year where changes could be happening on the daily. Dr. Dawson says it's an important reminder for good hand washing, keeping your hands off your face, and having a good after-school routine. She tells me in the end, we can control our exposure to the virus, and explaining to your kids what is going on will help them keep them in the classroom, hopefully for all 180 days of school.
Masks aren't going away, and I know that's frustrating for folks, but masks do provide a lot of protection, both for the wearer and the community around the wearer. So I think we need to get used to them, especially as we head into the school year.
Molly Samora, WNY News Now.
Molly, thank you. A Jamestown physical education teacher walking around Chautauqua Lake to raise money so kids with disabilities can attend a special camp next week kicked off his journey this morning. Patrick Smeraldo is on a 3-day trip around the lake, raising money to hold the first annual Kids and Sibs summer camp at Camp Anyasa. Smeraldo spoke with us 8 miles into the trek today. He says he hopes the walk raises awareness to the campaign, which will bring together 60 kids with disabilities and their siblings, aiming to develop mentorship skills within the group. When asked what pushes him to take on the effort, Smeraldo says,
"They're kids. I'm a kid guy, and it's just something to raise awareness, to help them in the bigger scope of this. This is a small thing somebody can do, but if we rally as a community behind our kids, that's my drive."
To put on the camp, the collaborating organizations are renting out the camp for 3 days. Between insurance and the day-to-day operations there, the whole project's about to cost $10,000. Smeraldo decided to raise the funds by walking 46 miles around Chautauqua Lake and matching any donations he gets up to $3,000. To learn more about how you can help, check out our web story posted now at WNYNewsNow.com. Certainly incredible journey, and we wish him luck out there. And this morning seemed to be a pretty nice day for it. We'll get to that weather forecast in just a few moments here. But first, I want to say hello to Kathy. Good to see Dave. Good to see Rebecca, Pam, Amber, and Connie. Hopefully you all are having a great day. We appreciate you tuning in here on the broadcast. Well, now let's get to that weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter standing by live with that. Is Patrick going to have to check out for any storms later today?
Well, I don't think we're going to have storms today, but we might tomorrow. But there will be some showers around through the afternoon. Live look from the Findlay Lake Skycam shows you those clouds starting to fill in. Now 76 is the current temperature, but the dew point has came back up into the 60s. And you know, when the dew point reaches the 60-degree mark, that's when you start to feel the humidity in the air. And we're going to see that rising little by little throughout the week. So hope you enjoyed the comfortable last few days, because they're gone. And that's something we told you was going to be happening last week. So here's the satellite and radar composite. We have a few light rain showers moving across northwestern Pennsylvania, mainly in Erie and Crawford counties. Those are moving to the northeast, and they'll be reaching, I would say, the western southern tier probably within the next half hour or so. So we'll watch those. But again, I don't expect any thunderstorm activity today. You may hear a rumble of thunder, but the majority of it should be mainly rain. 73 was the high yesterday. Did you get out and enjoy the comfortable weekend? I know I did. I mean, it was fantastic. 58 is where we started the day. 92 and 42 are the record highs and lows for this day. So through the afternoon, the clouds increase, scattered showers, maybe a couple rumbles of thunder, but I don't think we're going to see any thunderstorms across the region today. But you know, when it comes to weather, you expect the unexpected, but it will be humid though. 73 on the highest hills to 78 right near the Lake Erie water with a southeast wind 4 to 11 miles per hour. The rain continues for the next couple of days, but will we see any dry time over this week? We'll talk about it with that 7-day forecast later in the show. Justin.
All right, Dakota, we'll see you back here in 10 minutes' time. Thank you, sir. Well, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is calling for a crackdown now on fake COVID-19 vaccination cards. He says federal officials, including the FBI, need to stop the flow of fake cards coming from overseas. Schumer's demands follow a report by the Associated Press that explain how people are cheating the system and causing concern at universities that require proof that students received the vaccine to attend class this fall.
Who could be that dumb? The vaccine's free, the vaccine's safe, get the vaccine. But right now, there are these horrible people selling these cards, and too many people are looking to buy them. The bottom line is that amidst the COVID crisis and successful efforts to get free vaccines out to the masses, there is a new surge, an unfortunate surge, of counterfeit COVID cards.
Schumer says using a fake vaccination card with an official U.S. government logo is a federal crime that carries a possible fine and up to 5 years in prison. Well, there's no clear evidence that the COVID-19 Delta variant is causing more serious disease in children. That according to a U.S. top health official. But Dr. Anthony Fauci says it's putting more kids in the hospital through, quote, sheer infection numbers. So what activities should your family avoid to lower the risk of young kids contracting COVID-19? Mandy Gaither with more for us in today's Health Minute.
The Delta variant continues to quickly spread across the U.S., but right now the youngest Americans can't get the best protection there is, a vaccine.
The only thing we know for sure is that more infections mean more children will be in the hospital.
For those under 12 not yet eligible for vaccination, top U.S. health officials continue to say masking and physical distancing are key. What you do beyond that depends on your child's risk factors.
I would probably not have any of my kids who are still too young to be vaccinated go to one of those big sleepovers where you have multiple, 5, 6 kids.
But Dr. Perry Wilson with the Yale School of Medicine says a one-on-one slumber party may be more manageable, just mixing 2 households. And the biggest COVID risk for kids under 12 who aren't vaccinated, the same as it is for unvaccinated adults.
Those are indoor, crowded activities where people aren't wearing masks.
Wilson says outdoor activities are relatively safe, but
if you're packing indoors because you want that air conditioning, or when the weather gets colder, if you're packing indoors to get the heat, that's when the risk of transmission is going to be high.
And if you feel any COVID-19 symptoms, regardless of vaccination status, Wilson says to get tested.
Especially if you're living with unvaccinated people, because you'll be fine, but you might be putting them at risk.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Mandy, thank you. Being vaccinated makes you less likely to have severe symptoms of COVID-19, so Wilson says vaccinated people should pay attention to even mild symptoms like a cough and get tested. Coming up, a lot more to tell you about. The probe into a massive bus crash on New York State's Thruway continues, and later, The season-ending injury for a Jamestown native who made it big in the NFL. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Located along the Amish Trail, the Randolph Retail Company offers a variety of clothing, jewelry, and gifts for any occasion. Offering uptown merchandise at small-town prices, our locally owned business balances quality and value. With complimentary gift wrap here at the Randolph Retail Company, we pride ourselves in personal service. Check out our Facebook page or stop in today at 127 Main Street, Randolph, just a 20-minute drive from Jamestown.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
The investigation into a bus crash that injured 57 people in New York State continues today. The tour bus bound for Niagara Falls ran off the state thruway west of Syracuse and rolled over Saturday afternoon, sending more than 50 people to the hospital. The bus landed on its side in the grass on the highway's westbound side. Almost all of the bus's windows had been blown out, with many of the injured appearing to be families with small kids. First responders from a number of local departments, aided by Good Samaritans who stopped to help, including one person who dropped at least a dozen of first aid kits. All 57 aboard the bus were taken to area hospitals, including the driver, who has now been identified as a 66-year-old Wingdale, New York man. State police still investigating the cause of the crash and hadn't speculated why the bus veered off the highway. Well, the USDA is boosting the level of food stamps assistance available to those in need. Benefits will raise more than 25% above the pre-pandemic levels. This is the largest single increase in the program's history. The move will take effect in October. Food stamps are known as the SNAP program. The increased assistance will be available to all 42 million SNAP beneficiaries. Well, it's officially over. Despite 20 years of U.S. military and financial support, the Afghan government has fallen, and the Taliban now taking control. So what happens now? As Britt Conway reports, that's what the White House is trying to figure out.
Chaos in Kabul. People desperately trying to get out of Afghanistan after the now ousted Afghan president fled Sunday as the Taliban entered the city and took over the presidential palace. All personnel have been evacuated from the U.S. Embassy. Now the push is to get them out of the country, along with other American citizens and Afghan allies. 6,000 U.S. troops will be in Kabul soon.
Put them on the ground. Let the Taliban know that if they do something, there's going to be immediate consequences.
Possible long-term consequences are something else altogether. If the Taliban's rule is anything like it was in the 90s, it would mean a deterioration in civil liberties, particularly for women and girls. And U.S. officials worry terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda could reconstitute, which could lead to a rising counterterrorism threat. Just weeks from the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And President Joe Biden has been in discussion with senior officials as he and White House advisors debate next steps, while Congress scrutinizes their every move.
We need political statesmanship and leadership, and yet the Afghan leaders were not even able to provide rations and bullets to their frontline troops at their moment of reckoning.
It's just not that easy. You can't tell a man to learn how to swim as he's drowning and you remove the life raft from him.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Britt, thank you. The UN Security Council met this morning and discussed the issue, and a senior administration official for President Biden says he will address the nation this afternoon. Well, the Jamestown native on the Cleveland Browns football team suffered what's likely a season-ending knee injury over the weekend. According to Cleveland.com, 24-year-old Stephen Carlson, a Jamestown high school grad and now Browns tight end, left the stadium in a large knee brace and on crutches after the Browns' 23-13 victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars Saturday. Originally signed by the team as an undrafted rookie out of Princeton in 2019, Carlson signed a one-year deal with the Browns in April. The publication reporting Carlson will likely undergo surgery and set his sights on returning next season. We certainly wish him the best when it comes to recovery. We thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. As we get a check of some headlines this afternoon, let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below. And while we have your ear, we want to remind you we are now streaming online on Roku. If you're watching us there on channel 716, it's all local content coming and produced right here from Jamestown, New York. It's easy to download. Just search channel 716 on your favorite Roku TV. And if you're me, Mr. Hunter, every TV in my house is a favorite Roku TV. Can't go wrong with it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we have Rokus at the house. I mean, every television has a Roku on it. My actual television is a Roku TV.
Right,
but
which is great. I love mine. I love to stream. Although the one thing is, a lot of times, you cut the cord, right? And this is the biggest thing. You cut the cord, and then the prices of the subscriptions, the Hulu, the Netflix, the Apple TV Plus, whatever, seems to add up to how much it would be to have cable. But the good thing about channel 716, absolutely free to you and great content as well. And part of that content is the excellent weather forecast, which I'll let you get right to.
All right, let's take a look at the allergy forecast here because believe it or not.
Sniffle, sneezes.
Yeah, I know. Sneezy, sneezy. And we actually had a little talk in the weather office. We were going to rename this when we were doing the new weather graphics. We were going to call this the sneezometer. But I don't know. Sneezometer?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll take a vote. Do you like sneezometer? Drop in the comments down below and we'll poll it, and then maybe tomorrow we'll throw this graphic back up, and if you guys like it, it'll be called the sneezometer. But anyway, grass is going to be our main pollen for the foreseeable future here. We're now into that grass pollen. So Monday blues, afternoon rain will be coming our way today. More rain Tuesday, even more rain Wednesday. What a surprise. But we are watching the tropics here as we could see some tropical moisture from Tropical Storm Fred that has regenerated now in the Gulf of Mexico. Clouds downtown right now from the HD News Now cam. We're at 72 as a noon hour, a variable wind of 6. Dew point has came up to 61. But so far not creating a heat index, so it's not feeling all that bad, but you do feel a little bit of the stickiness out there. So speaking of Tropical Storm Fred, here it is. It is now regenerated now in the Gulf of Mexico, pretty close to the Florida Peninsula, or the Florida Panhandle, excuse me. This is the peninsula. This is the Panhandle. So as of the current advisory, 60-mile-per-hour winds moving north slowly at 10 miles per hour, 993 millibars is the current pressure. And here's the forecast track from the Hurricane Center. This is going to come up, likely make landfall on the Florida Panhandle somewhere west of Tallahassee near Pensacola. That's likely where landfall location is going to be. But notice how the track brings it up into the basically into the northeast as we go into the later part of the week. Now, the good news about this is it's going to be a remnant low, so it's not going to be a tropical storm. It'll likely be just a remnant low, but there is a chance we could see some moisture out of this as we go into the later part of the week. In fact, here's the tropical hurricane models. These are all the computer models put together. They're called spaghetti plots, and you can see there's a lot of agreement. This thing is going to come up towards Pennsylvania and New York. It's going to be a remnant low, but we may see some heavy rainfall out of this maybe Thursday or Friday. We'll keep our eyes on that, and we'll keep you updated on it. First Defense Doppler radar showing you just a few light rain showers down across Erie and Crawford counties, moving toward the northeast kind of slowly. But again, no thunderstorm activity really expected today. Future scan kind of showing that to you. The rain showers kind of moving in. There could be some heavy downpours at times with some of this activity as well. So we will have to watch that. But I don't think we're going to see any major flooding problems. But there could be some low-lying flooding from some of the heavier rainfall. And you'll see here when you get into the darker colors, that starts to indicate the heavier amounts of rainfall. And then that's going to continue as we go into the day on Wednesday, especially tomorrow and Wednesday. We'll see a few more rain showers popping up through the day. And again, both today and tomorrow, there will be the chance for at least a few rain showers that could become heavy at times. So the zone forecast, the inland areas today, likely lower 70s today. That's likely where we're going to top out today for the high temperatures, lower 70s, but it's going to be a lot more humid. So be aware of that. Then tomorrow, we're going to see a few more rain showers. Wednesday, a few more rain showers as well. And we'll figure out what's going on with that weather computer. But a few more rain showers. And then by the time we go into the weekend, we'll see a few more. Then the rain showers will start to back off a little bit with temperatures kind of hovering around 80 degrees. We'll take a break. Be right back.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Right here, baby. Look. Oma.
Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. It's Monday and we're off to the movies. Life is just a game for Ryan Reynolds and his new flick, Free Guy, which dominated the box office over the weekend, debuting #1. David Daniel with a closer look.
My name is Guy.
Sunday should be warm and sunny, just a scattering of drive-bys.
And I live in paradise.
Actually, it's Free City, an open-world video game, and Guy is an NPC, a non-player character.
There's no easy way to say this. This world, it's a video game. You're not real.
Free Guy star Ryan Reynolds loved the idea of a big summer movie not based on a comic book or a franchise.
So you really have an obligation and a responsibility to do everything bigger and smarter and a little bit better than you might be satisfied if you're leaning on something that is a pre-existing character or idea.
That means Guy is no Deadpool in more ways than one.
And I remember in our very first meeting, I said, Ryan, this is Canadian, Ryan. I need you to be your most Canadian Ryan Reynolds. Nice, optimistic, hyper civil.
The cast includes Jodie Comer as a badass gamer and game creator.
It was amazing. I mean, I am so far from that in real life. So I definitely, felt the pressure of having to be cool.
And Lil Rel Howery as Guy's best friend.
I was nervous because I am a huge Ryan Reynolds fan. So literally the first day I found myself watching him like I was in a movie. So I wasn't saying my lines. They'd be like, hey, man, you got a line. I'm like, oops.
If we're not real, doesn't that mean that nothing you do matters?
I am sitting here with my best friend trying to help him get through a tough time. Now, if that's not real, I don't know what is.
We can change our world, but we have to fight together. I don't even know what's happening right now, but I love it!
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
David, thank you. You can catch Free Guy locally at Lakewood Cinema 8 with several showings this week. Pretty exciting. Well, now let's get a final check of our weather forecast. And I know due to some techie issues, Dakota had a problem with the 7-day, but it's back and it's looking steamy, my friend.
Yeah, there it is. Let's take a look at the next 7 days of your life. 74 today, 76 tomorrow, few storms tomorrow, more rain showers Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now, Thursday, there could be some remnant moisture from Tropical Storm Fred as it works up towards the northeast. We'll have to watch that through the week. And then the weekend, yeah, there will be some dry time in between both Saturday and Sunday, but neither day will be a washout in the humidity back once again. That'll do it for us. The news continues online 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com, also on our mobile app, and we will see you right back here tomorrow at noon. Have a good day.